Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Kasa podcast. This is your boy Kojo in the building. Today, the tribe is going all the way back to high school. Today, we're going to talk about our time in high school, how we got in, our days in high school, the lessons, the memory, the wonderful stories, the horror stories, the good ones, the bad ones. You know, for a lot of people who are not very familiar with the high school system in Ghana, I'll give you a bit of a teaser before we get into the conversation itself. Unlike so many other countries, the Ghanaian high school system is rather interesting. We spend about 12 years preparing to go to high school in Ghana. So you have 3 years of kindergarten, you have 6 years of elementary school or primary school as call it, and then there's 3 more years of junior high school. After that, you sit an exam, a standardized exam that helps you get into high school. Before you write this exam, you register for the exam, and as you're registering, you pick a couple of schools you want to attend for high school. I'm not so familiar with the numbers, but the last time I checked, there were about 18,000 junior high schools in Ghana and about 900, a little over 900 senior high schools. So in Ghana, we have a bit of a meritocracy when it comes to high school. Like there's some elite high schools everybody wants to get into, and so people select these schools, right? You rank them in your order of preference, the one you'd most likely want to be in and the ones you're not so keen on getting into. And so after you sit your exam, the results come in and you're placed in these high schools, right? And that is where the action begins. I hope this primer was good enough for you to understand the Ghanaian educational system. Today is going to be story. I've got Efia here, Chris is also here, Wendy is here. How are you guys doing?
Hey, we're doing well.
I've got a question before we get into the conversation itself. Which high schools did every one of you attend? Efia, well, which high school did you attend and which year did you graduate?
I went to Ibuaka State College and I graduated 2015. Yep.
Abusco is the name. Which year did you graduate, Efia?
2015.
2015.
Yeah.
Wendy, which high school did you go to?
I went to Agri Girls Senior High School.
Abugis.
Yeah,
Abugi. Which year did you graduate high school to?
2015.
2015. Nice.
Yes.
Chris, which high school did you go to?
Pope John's Senior High School and minor seminary.
What's the short form for Pope John's Senior High School?
Or we say Pojos, or we say PJ.
We have Prempeh College, Pope John Seminary, and Senior High School, a Brick Girls High School. We're going to go into the conversation right away. What happened to you on your first day? Tell us about first day.
Oh my god. So I think I went to school on a Wednesday, and mostly everyone knows that when you go to school, you would have to meet the senior house master, the house mistress, to check your items and all that to see if you brought prescribed items before you're allowed into your house. So unfortunately, I don't know if it was a bad thing, but they had a problem with my uniform. According to them, my uniform was short. That was the only problem. And so I was very tiny, so it wasn't something that was supposed to be a problem. You know, it wasn't that short. It was like knee length, a little above the knee, but it was okay. But then the seniors, the house prefect, and the other ladies were not having it. So, and when I entered the house, the first thing was like, boho. Boho is like, kneel down. Would like all of a sudden, why am I in this? This not prescribed. Oh my god. It was right after lunch, and all the seniors were coming from the dining hall. Everyone was coming to the house, and I was kneeling right in the center of the house. It was so embarrassing. Oh my god. And I was so tiny. We went to meet the form fours. Oh my god. They were like moms, like grown up.
That's so true.
Big women.
Oh my
big women that I felt like, oh god, I want to go home. I don't want to do this again. It wasn't bad, you know, but that was my first day.
So just to provide some context and some clarity for those who are not very familiar with the Ghanaian system, there were years where the high school system ran for 4 years, and there were years, for the most part, it ran for 3 years.
Yeah.
So some of us were in the system where it was for 4 years, and some were also in the system where it was 3 years. Personally, I did 3 years. So you'd hear the 3-4 year divide a lot, and there are some words that are going to be used a lot on this episode. Seniors. So seniors are people who came in the institution before you. And so if it's a 3-year system, when you're in your freshman year, anyone who is in their second year or their third year is considered a senior, and anyone who came into the institution after you is considered a junior, right? Chris, tell us about your first day, now that some of these terms have been explained.
Oh, okay. So first day, I remember it was September 2010. I carried my box, my bags, and then we asked, we want to see the house master, and then he said it's not around. So the house prefect came, checked my items. I was just scared. My mom whispered to me, is he also a student? So I
Why?
went.
Why did your mother have to ask that?
There was
Oh
this
my
giant.
God.
He was also
Mhm.
bare chested. Before they checked my things, I opened my chop box
Mhm.
and it was a mess.
What happened?
Why?
Because when they were moving the things from, I mean, yeah, into the bus to get to Koforidua, I don't know what
Okay.
happened. They were in a rush.
Oh my
So
Oh,
God.
that would be
almost all
disaster.
my things in containers got
We're out
open
of the
and they were,
Oh
containers.
my
Oh
goodness.
yeah.
Oh
no.
my. I have to come back in and give some context to some of these stories. So, guys, I forgot to tell you this at the beginning. For most students who go to high school in Ghana, it's our first time leaving home. We go to boarding schools, right? Most of these high schools are boarding schools. And not only are they boarding schools, majority of students elect to go to these boarding homes. Chris's story contains some of the stuff he had plan to go live in the boarding school with.
Yeah.
So his provisions, some food supplies, some, and all these things were mixed up in his box, right? That's a very sad story. But Wendy, tell us about your first day at a Brig Girls High School.
My first day, I cried. So,
Oh.
coming from junior high school,
Okay.
I used to grow my hair, so I had long hair, and
mhm.
I didn't actually want to cut it so low. So, I cut
Okay.
it down, but not really so low. When I got there, our senior house mistress, Miss Cobbler, decided to use the scissors into my hair on the first day. She literally used it down here, and then she
Oh
told
my
me the barbers are going to come next week. If you knew the barbers are going to come next week, why didn't you wait to do it next week? So I had to walk around like that for a whole week. That was
Oh
the
my
first thing that
goodness.
happened. And
Oh
then
my
we had to
goodness.
shower before we go for lunch, like to the
Mhm.
dining hall.
Mhm.
So I got there and then it was just a plain like bathroom. I was like, is this a bathroom? They said yes. I said, where's the shower?
Oh my god.
So we call our seniors ladies. One lady was like, over here we don't have showers. You have to grab your bucket and then go fetch water and
Oh
then you come and
goodness.
use it to shower. I was just looking at her. I looked at where the tap was, looked at where the bathroom was, like, because I thought bucket was to wash. I didn't know bucket was to carry water from one point to another
Oh
to
my
go and shower.
goodness. Oh my
My first day
goodness.
was so sad.
You're cracking so many people up in the chat. I am going to share my story, my adventure. I'm going to give a little brag. So I'm a second generation Amanfo. So I'm going to the school my father went to. I'm so excited. And so it was me, my grandfather, and my mother. And we're going in first day. I'm going to Prempeh College. My dreams have become a reality. When you get to Prempeh College, there's a designated parking spot. So you park and then you take out your stuff and you put it there. So they'll take your stuff to the dorms for you and your beds are assigned. So they'll just go and put it by your bed. So they took my stuff and I had my pillow. I'm going to a boarding school. I have my pillow. So I was clutching my pillow and we were getting into the house, but I was in Pearson House and Pearson House has this little entry. So I went through the side door. The minute I walked in, this senior yanked my pillow off my chest. He's like, do you think you're going to sleep on this tonight? Better think again. And this guy just walked off with my pillow. Funny enough, my grandfather was behind me, my mother was behind me, nobody said a thing. Because the guy was like 6'6" and I was like 2 inches tall. Like I was a 14-year-old skinny boy, and this giant had taken my pillow. At that point, I realized I am not having a pillow. So we put the stuff down, they left. And one of my cousins was the house prefect the year before I came in, and he was mean and cruel. So everybody knew his cousin was coming. The seniors were just waiting, and we share the same family name. So they came, and I couldn't even hide. They just mentioned my name, and they're like, follow us. They took me to the seniors' dormitories, and they told me if I can successfully explain every action my cousin did, I would be allowed to go to bed. 1 a.m. the next morning, I was still there trying to explain away his action.
Oh my God.
I was kneeling, I was standing, I was waving goodbye. You never know how waving can be a punishment. But yeah, that was me first day. I was just waving my dreams goodbye. That is basically the first year's experience.